Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Hey, Greta. Hey, Kenneth. Hey, Venus. We are going to get into some training today. And if you're here with me live, once you walk away, you should have your own unique value proposition. Okay. The formula to create that so that you can get online income, or if you're already in business and you have a product or service, this is the secret sauce to make sure that your customers know that they need to work with you so it increases your profits, okay? So we're doing this in real time. This is a workshop. So if you're here with me live, I'm gonna go back and forth with you so you can give me your information, and then of course we'll do Q&A toward the end. But as we do this stuff, I want you, hey there, Rebloom, you're gonna put your stuff in the chat if you're here with me live so that we can look through it, make sure that it's good. If you're watching this recording, please do not watch this passively. I want you to get some paper or whatever you take notes with. So at the end of this, you will have your own personalized, unique value proposition. Okay. So let's get into it. So first, for those of you who haven't met me before, my name is Cinnamon. I live in Portugal from the United States, and I have a digital marketing company, and I've been able to travel, move to another country, and this is my life now. Now, this took a lot of planning. So for those of you, if you're interested in traveling more or you're interested in living abroad, you're going to have to create some income for yourself. Okay. So when I had to start all over, there was a series of things I started and did prior to leaving. Okay. Don't leave. I wouldn't recommend that you leave before getting this done. Okay. So first thing we're going to talk about. Hey there, y'all. Hey, folks. Hey, folks. We'll do Q&A toward the end, but hey, James, we're going to first, if you already know, if you're here with me live, who your target market is, I want you to put that in the chat. Okay. So identify your target market. Why is this important? This is the part that's the most critical area when it comes to coming up with your formula so you can make more money. If you can identify your target market, it's going to be super hard because this is where your marketing and your message to the people who you want to pay you, they won't know that they need you if you don't identify them correctly. So it's really important to identify your market. So let's just talk about that a little bit, okay? So first, do people know who they're? Hey there, hey there, hey Carrie, hey Viviana, hey there, hey there. Okay, so listen, identify your target market. Who is it? Now, who is your ideal customer? For those of you who have not started businesses, you don't have any customers yet, I want you to think about who do you want to do business with? What do they look like? What are their problems? What are their ages? What are their gender? Like, think about the aspect of the companies or the individuals you want to do business with. Write it down. Okay, write it down. Does anyone here know who their target market is now? You can put that in the chat and I'll look at that later. Okay, who is your ideal customer? Now, what are their needs and desires? Here is a mistake. Let's just chat for a minute. But here is a mistake that most entrepreneurs don't consider. They don't consider their customer. They don't consider the problems and the desires and the issues that their customer has. What tends to happen is a person will say, I have a business idea. Everybody wants it. Let me just go sell it. And that's where you're going to end up having an issue because you never once considered your customer. Because when you do your marketing and all of your collateral, it's going to have to communicate in the language of the customer. And if you never think about them, your message is going to fall flat. And that's not what we want. Okay. So again, what are their needs, desires, and more importantly, pain points? Okay. So right now, we are walking into an era where people's discretionary income is going to change, right? So if they may not have the discretionary income, people pay to solve their problem. So let's say you wake up one day, you have to go to work and all 4 tires of your car are flat. Even if it wasn't in your budget, you're going to make sure that you're going to figure it out, right? You're going to get more tires because that is the problem that you need to solve immediately. So when we're talking about an economy that we're getting ready to get into, what is it that is their pain points? Because when you communicate with them, whether it be online or any of your marketing, you have to address their pain points or their desires because that's how they're able to what? Raise their hand and say that they need to work with you, right? So anybody, okay, target monthly podcast. Okay, Nana. All right, target monthly podcast, 1 hour, pop culture, minimum 1K. I have questions about that, Nana. So we're going to get into that. I might have to do the questions at the end because I got a lot of questions on that. Okay, all right. So next, This is what I want you to see about how different the marketing would be, and make a very obvious decision as to how you communicate with them. So let's say you are a financial advisor. Here you have some young individuals that, with their issues of where they want a financial advisor, they may have the opportunity to be a little bit more aggressive in their investments, right? Now, if you have someone who's, let's say, older, they may not have the opportunity to be more aggressive in their investments. But someone younger, their ideas of what they want for financial advice may be different. They may say, okay, I want to save some money for retirement. I want to invest in the stock market. I want to do these type of things. I could be a little aggressive, but I want to make sure that I have enough money to go on a trip 4 times out the year. Or I want to make sure that I'm saving money for a family one day. Now, the individuals who are older going to have a completely different set of issues. So what I want you to see is, you see those two demographics. When you market to them, you're going to market to them differently. You're not going to market to the clients that are close to retirement the same way you're going to market to a person who's probably just new in the job market. They can be a little bit more aggressive. You're going to change your marketing based on that. And because if you're doing anything online, it's very easy to create a different landing page for your various audiences. So I know people feel like they can do business with everyone. Everyone can be my customer. But do you have any idea how much more professional and excited someone's going to be if they look at your marketing and it seems like you are hearing them specifically, you are dealing with their problem specifically? And in order to do that, you got to think about your client. Okay, you have to identify who they are and that good stuff. Okay, so next, this is the important thing. After you identify who your target market is, now you have to figure out, how are you going to stand out in a saturated market? Okay, and so what does that mean? In an oversaturated market, what sets you apart specifically? This is something you really want to consider, because if you don't sit down and think about it, how is your customer going to find you? What is it that makes you different specifically? Okay, so let me just give you a couple examples. Okay, so when we're talking about what makes you unique and what you're understanding your unique position is, you want to think about, how do your experiences and background specifically differentiate you from others? Now, in every industry you're going to have competitors, right? And we're going to talk about competitors in a minute. But you need to say, okay, so what is it about me that can help me stand out? So let's go back to our financial planner, right? Now, with a financial planner, let's say you're a financial planner that has a medical background. Okay, so because you have a medical background, you may decide, oh, I want to go after nurses, or I want to go after doctors, or I want to go out. So when you're marketing, you can specifically reach to that versus someone who's just a financial planner who doesn't have that background. So I want you to sit and think. Okay, and we're going to do this together. You're going to have your whole thing, right? I want you to sit and think about you. Write down some things about you that makes it very specific and unique as to why someone should choose you specifically. What is your background? What is your history? Okay, because when you come up with your marketing message, you are going to bring all of this stuff in. Okay, you're going to bring all this stuff into your marketing message so you can be able to further communicate to your client that they should work with you. So again, here's some example. Let's say you have a medical degree or you have experience in the medical field, whatever it is. I'm pulling anything else. Let's say you travel. For my case, I travel a lot. So for entrepreneurs who want to travel and that type of thing, I'm really good at that because I've been doing it for a while, right? So depending on what is it that your specific skill set can bring, because that is what's going to differentiate you from your competitors. There's tons of financial advisors. There's tons of real estate agents. There are tons of insert field here, but there's only one of you. Now, granted, your customer, if they have never met you before, they have no idea why they should be working with you. And you can't have your customer guess, okay? It has to be very clear how they can raise their hand and say, I need to work with this individual, or I need to work with this company, right? Okay, now, next, you actually have to articulate your problem that you solve. Now, This is super important, okay, particularly in your marketing. And as we go into this real special economy, and even when the economy is great, right, you still have to be able to effectively communicate what problem you solve. People are more likely to pay to have their problem solved. Now, granted, you can have a great business idea, right? But is it going to be enough to get someone's credit card or debit card out of their pocket, out of their wallet, to actually pay for it? If it sounds good in theory, but it's not really a burning problem, it's going to take you longer to make sales. So think about that. So whatever your industry is, whether you're a writer or you're a chiropractor, what is the problem that you're solving? And it's stuff that's just not as obvious. Like if you're a chiropractor, duh. But think about, okay, are you a chiropractor and you're focusing on people who've been in certain accidents? Or you're a chiropractor that is focused on people who have particular back pain, or moms who, whatever it is, you want to get niche specific, because in the online world, someone has to be able to find you, and they cannot find you if you are super general. So that's why you coming up with your unique value proposition is critical to your sales, right? Okay. What challenges or pain points does your product, service address? Please write that down, because we're going to do Q&A, and I'm going to ask you these questions that we're going over right now. So if you don't have the answer to these questions and we're doing this live, that's going to be a problem. Okay, so write down right now, what are the challenges and pain points that your product or service addresses? Is it a problem that's big enough for enough people to care that this business will sustain you? Okay, again, you can have a great product idea, but is it solving a big enough problem that people are going to pay for it? That is going to be critical. You got to think this out. When those of you who tell me like, okay, Sen, I want to start an online business, but I don't know where to start, right here. Okay, this is where you start. Because if you don't ask yourself these questions now, you're going to spend a lot of time working on a business that's not going to make any money. Okay, and I don't want that for you. All right, so again, what challenges or pain points does your product or service fix now? And here you want to clearly define. Oh, I have typos in this. Forgive me, y'all. This presentation is more so I remember where I'm at, less for you. Okay. Defining this problem ensures that your solution resonates with your audience. There are tons of things online and offline that are competing with your potential customers' attention. You do not want them to have to think real hard to figure out why they should do business with you. And the more you think about your customer and their needs and what their desires are, the more you'll know where to find them. You cannot do generic marketing and feel like you are going to have a business that sustain you. You don't just want a business that you get sales every now and then. You need a business to sustain you the whole way through, okay? And the way of doing that is thinking about your customer, okay? So, all right, where are we? All right, okay. Now, so write all these out, because we're gonna do a fire Q&A. How are we doing on time? We're doing good on time. Okay. So now let's talk about benefits and features. This is actually one of the mistakes that a lot of entrepreneurs make. They communicate on features. People do not buy features. What they buy are benefits. So let's just make sure that it's clear that you know what the difference is, okay? So for features are tangible aspects of your service or product, right? And the benefit is the outcome. It's the result. It's how the customer will be different after experiencing your service or your product, okay? So let's go into a little bit of examples, right? So again, your features, okay, are going to be characteristics and components, which people don't care that much about. Okay. They don't really care about the features. And so here are just some examples. 10-hour battery life laptop. Why does that matter? Noise canceling headphones. Who cares? Organic ingredient skincare. Well, people care about this. I care about that. Now, here's the benefit. Same thing, right? We're taking those features and now we're turning them into benefits. Now, what does that look like? Now, that means benefits, again, describe the value or the advantage of engaging in your product or service, okay? Now, for your 10-hour battery life laptop, why is that important? Because it gives you the freedom all day to work without looking for an outlet. So those of us who work in random places or coffee shops or cafes or beaches, we want a 10-hour laptop because we're probably going to work for 8 hours and we don't need to find an outlet. So that would be someone who's interested in that. Like, okay, that works. That's what I need, right? Okay, noise canceling headphones. Why does that matter? Because you can listen without distractions. So if you're saying your ideal client is the business professional who's always on the go, then when you are advertising your noise canceling headphones, you have them maybe showing them on the airplane, being able to get in the zone in first class. If you never thought about your ideal client, you could never even create the visuals that would resonate with that client. Y'all following me? We good? Okay. All right. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, great. All right. Now, nourish your skin with healthy ingredients. So that's, of course, organic ingredients. Anyone who's interested in having organic ingredients most likely don't want to deal with the toxics that are in skincare. So again, your feature is that it's organic ingredients. But why does that matter? Because you can get some great skin and some glowingness and some flowingness without harsh chemicals, okay? All right, so let's look where we're at. Don't worry, you don't know about the problem you're solving. Okay, good. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. So I just want to go through this stuff real quick. And did I do all that on that? Okay, one more. Hold on. All right. So people buy results or experiences for the products that they want, right? So that's important. Now, your competitors. Now, it is important to acknowledge that you're going to have competitors, okay? So now that you know that you're going to have them, the important thing is to see what they're doing. What are your competitors doing that is different from you, okay? So, and what are you doing better? So let's talk about that for a little bit. All right. Who else is serving your target market? Write it down. And if you haven't thought about that yet, that's cool. But I want you to think about that later. Again, if you're watching this in a recording, write down who else, what other companies like yourself can potentially be serving your same target audience. Also, fun fact, you already determined who your target audience is. It's possible you may have like a correlating type of product or service that would complement your product or service, right? And so now you can collaborate with this other business and be able to increase your audience or your marketing in those efforts, right? But that's for another day. Today, I just want you to think about who else is dealing with your target audience. Now, when you do that, you're also going to determine what they are doing right and where there's some room for improvement, right? So you've seen competition in the marketplace often. And usually there is a primary company that comes out. They come out there, they may make a couple mistakes, there might be a couple issues, and then there's companies that come out later that end up improving on that model. So for example, Uber is in a lot of countries. Uber was the first. Then I know in the States came Lyft. In Europe, we have Bolt. So there were some other competitors that came out and kind of changed and try to make things better of this company. So I want you to think about that. Think about in your business, what are your competitors doing? Because the interesting thing like this, if you don't ask yourself these questions now, it's going to be an expensive mistake later, and you're not going to be too clear as to how to fix it before you invested all this time and energy. Okay, so next we have differentiate yourself by offering a unique value. Now, once you know what your competitors are doing and you know where there's room for improvement, then you can easily offer something that is unique. But if you never research who your competitors are, you never research who your ideal client are, you never research what their problems are, your marketing message is going to fall flat. So understand, nobody is paying you for your product or service if they don't know you exist. So the critical thing is when they find out you exist, they have to be able, again, to raise their hand and say, I want to work with this product or I want to work with this person, okay? So next. Your personal story, your personal journey, your challenges, anything that has shaped your brand. So for my example where I'm talking about the individual who is a financial planner, and in this example, she happens to be a financial planner that used to be in the medical field for whatever reason. Just roll with me. So whatever is your journey or anything that kind of makes your unique positioning, that is what you're going to make sure that you're going to talk about, okay? You want to make sure how you can say, listen, I came from the medical field. I understand how important it is to save money. I work with clients who never considered saving money, and now they're in, various situations. I understand. I can help you because you're targeting, let's say, the doctors or nurses or whatever in this example. We'll go through your examples in a minute. You're saying that, and they can feel like this person really knows what I'm talking about or what I'm feeling because they too were in the medical field, or they too, whatever, insert your story here. Now, your personal story is going to be super important in your product or brand, even for those of you who are doing B2B. Okay. So if your business or service is just going to corporations, understand that even though it's a corporation, you are still dealing with people. Like Amazon is a huge corporation, but you know the president. You don't know him personally, of course, but you know who that is. X or Twitter or whatever. Well, he's not the CEO anymore, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like, even though these are large corporations, you have a little bit of a personal story with the actual founder or co-founder or CEO. And that's been a major shift in marketing or in business over the past, I would say 15 years. So don't get caught up, for those of you who do B2B. Still put your personal story, because ultimately the person who's going to make the decision that if they want to hire you for this contract, they got to like you. Because again, there's competitors. And if they like you or what you're presenting or how you sound as though you already understand the problem, you're more likely to close the deal. Okay. All right. Personal story. We got that. Okay. And now we are talking about keeping it simple and clear. And this, I can say just from my experience, working with small business owners, that this is also an area that people struggle. I'll ask them, okay, so what is it that you do? What is your business? And they'll go on for like a good minute, and I still don't know what they do. And that's a problem. So I want you to think about the big brands that are doing it. So right in this example, we're talking about Apple, right? So Apple, the complex feature is a high quality retina design. Now, the simple, unique value proposition is that you can see everything in high definition. So for those individuals who are interested in stuff looking crazy crispy when they're viewing it, that is going to be like, okay, I want that. But you see how simple that was? Just off of the retina design, how quick and easy that was. You have to be able to say simple and clear, what is it that you're doing? Okay. Next example, we have Zoom. Now in the complex, we've all used Zoom. Zoom got us through, the global shutdown, right? And so Zoom, the complex feature is a platform offering video conferencing with high quality audio, video, screen sharing, secure and easy setup. Okay, that's a lot. It's a lot. Now, what's the quick, simple, unique value proposition? Your meeting is just a click away. Really? So I can get video, screen sharing, audio with a couple clicks. That sounds less intimidating, less scary. And if you know your audience, you know that your audience may be kind of new to this, because when global shutdown came down, not everybody was used to doing virtual meetings, right? So they may be apprehensive about the technology. So knowing that, coming up with this simple, unique proposition, your meeting is just a click away. So if technology freaks you out, you just saying it's a click away makes me feel at ease. Now I can raise my hand and say, I need this product. Okay. All right. What's the next example? Okay. Netflix. Ooh, we know some Netflix. Okay. So Netflix, the complex feature, is a streaming platform with a massive diversity library of movies, series, original content available on demand with personalized recommendations. That's a lot. If an elevator pitch did all that, you would not want to hear it. Okay. But now you can watch anywhere. You can watch anything, anywhere, and cancel anytime. Now, why is this important? Cancel anytime. Because people don't want to be committed. So putting that Now, and if you knew that, right? Because we talked about knowing about your audience, their pain points, their problems. So if their pain point is, I really don't want to commit. I came from cable, and we all know how cable worked back in the day. You had to do almost like a year or 2-year commitment. I'm what? So what did Netflix do? They said, okay, fine. You don't even have to worry about that. You can watch it anywhere, and you don't even have to worry about commitment because you can cancel any time. I hope it's clicking, right? Okay, so, all right. Now, after you do that, you are going to test and refine. Okay, so a great UVP is based on feedback. So you can get feedback from a variety of things. Okay, so if you were just starting out, I know people don't want to hear this. This is the non-sexy part of business, guys, especially when you were just starting out. You wouldn't believe how many companies that I work with that employ hundreds of people and they still don't have the answers to this. Because when I walk in, I'm always saying, okay, so why would someone do business with you versus somebody else? You would not believe, I hope none of my clients are watching. You would not believe how many people can't answer that for me. So that's not what I want for you. I want that you thought about this before you even started the business. And if you've already started the business, you at least have these answers, okay? Because if you do not, you are going to make it super, super difficult for you to have a sustainable business. I'm running my mouth. Okay, now you want to test your UVP with your target audience, refine based on responses. So let's just have a real conversation real quick. So a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot of them, well, some, they think about the money that they want and kind of the service. And again, not necessarily think about your client that you're serving. So when you're just starting off, and I said this last week, for those of you who were live on me last week, you need to be able to talk to at least bare minimum your first 50 customers. There is no excuse for you not to do so. So if you're in a product situation, and let's say you have a SaaS or you have an e-commerce, whatever you have, you should be able to send an email and get some insight for your first 50, I would say 100, but your first 50 customers, because this is what you need. You need data. You need data. You need to be able to get some insight from the individuals and say, hey, how do you feel about this? This is what companies pay a lot of money for focus groups, right? Tons, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on focus groups. You have a focus group. If you're getting their email address, you can literally just send them an email and ask them a question. And that was free. Okay, so if you're just starting off, you want to start reaching out to your potential client and asking them, what are some of the areas, what are some of their problems? Because you can end up creating a product or a service specifically for that company, and that will immediately get you sales because you solving a problem that they need. But if you don't think through the other aspects of what we just discussed, it's going to make it incredibly difficult. Okay, we're going to do Q&A in a second, okay? We did good. I did 30 minutes. Okay, so now I can spend, okay, I'm going to stay here I'm going to stay here. I think as long as you need, well, within reason. Okay, so real quick, let's, just a reminder, I'm doing this the whole month of October, guys. So if you need to get your businesses together, I'm here for free, live, the whole month of October, same bat channel, same bat time. So if you have friends that are starting a business and they stuck, come see me. We're going to work it out. Because once I finish saying all this, we're going to get in these comments and we're going to talk about it, okay? So if you're watching this as a recording, please don't watch this passively. Please answer these questions. All right, test and refine. Okay, continual refinement, ensure your UVP remains powerful and relevant, right? Because you, as an individual, you're going to change, right? You're going to evolve. And so in that process, whatever made you your personal story, if that has changed, incorporate that. Okay, so be sure to test and evolve, communicate with your first 50 customers. Even if you don't have customers yet, talk to them, because it is clear in some cases that when some individuals start businesses, they've never communicated with their potential customer. And why not? In most cases, it's free. Okay? Communicate with your potential customers because it's going to save you a lot of money and it's going to help you close quicker because you already know what the problems are. All right? Okay, I beat that in your head long enough, right? What is this? What's this one? Okay, marketing. So we talked about all of the things, your unique value proposition, identifying your market, knowing your competitors, all of these things, because where is this stuff going to go? This stuff is going to go into your marketing. So there's two aspects of marketing. Of course, there's letting people know who you are, and then there's the conversion, right? So if people are coming to your YouTubes, your LinkedIn's, your websites, and all of that, and they come and they see you, but your message doesn't convert, then you are not gonna make it, okay? That's important. We're doing this formula so that you can walk away with something, again, so someone can raise their hand. They cannot raise their hand if they're unclear as to why they should do business with you. So for you to attempt to market your business and you don't have the answers to those questions, you're gonna waste some money. You're gonna waste some time. Okay, so we're not going to do that. If you're here with me live, listen, we're going to get into it. All right. So where were we just leaving off? Y'all know I always forget where I'm at because that's just how my brain works. Okay. So to recap. All right. So you're going to identify your target market. Okay. You're going to understand your unique position. You're going to articulate the problem you solve. You're going to list the benefits and features. You're going to understand your competitors, incorporate your personal story, keep it simple, test, refine. Okay. All right. That is the stuff I want to give you. Okay. I know I went over it fast, but I need time for us to talk and do this workshop in real time, right? I thought I could ask you a question and then go to the chat, but that's not how we're able to do it because it's just so much going on. Greta, Kenny, good afternoon. Okay. All right. Here we are. Hey, James. Okay. Everyone's saying, hey. Okay. All right. Let's see where we got. Target monthly. Nana, I still have questions about you. Let me bring you to the broadcast real quick. Okay. So monthly podcast, 1 hour, pop culture, minimum 1K. This needing to create small content, clips and reels, target market. Hold on. All right. So are you saying that that's what you want, like those are the customers you want to service, or are you saying that's what you are? You are let's look at that again. You are the person who has a monthly podcast, pop culture, need to create small content, clips and reels. Oh, this is what you want to do for them. Am I clear? Help me be clear on that, Nana, and then I'm going to see how I can help. Okay. So, all right. Let's see what we got here. I've already segmented my customer base into 2 categories, DTC. Okay, I don't know what that means. My UVP solves the maternal infant health crisis in the Black community. Okay, so let's go back to this real quick. I think that was your target audience. So identify your target. That's great. Understand your unique position. So Viviana, put in your unique position for me so I understand that a little bit better, okay? All right. Okay, thriving nonprofits. Let's look at that. Okay, target marketing, thriving nonprofits and mission-driven small business. Rebloom, do you get how that is super general? Okay, so nonprofits come in all types of industries. Just saying nonprofit is not going to work, love. So if I'm you gotta give me a little bit more than that. So if it's specific nonprofits in a particular industry, like are you working with emergency nonprofits? Are you working for personal nonprofits where people have money and they create a nonprofit because they want it to go to charity? What type of nonprofits and small businesses? Folks, y'all know you really got to get specific with me because you can't market to that easily, Rebloom. It's going to be super difficult. No one's going to be able to raise their hand and say, that's me. Okay. So be very, very specific. So give me something else. Okay. Hey, Rebloom. Hey, Bloom. Okay. Target market for retreats. Okay. What is it? We're probably going to end up having to put in the phone line back because I still have follow-up questions and I want to get them from you. Target market for retreats, Black women over 40 who don't want to travel alone. Okay, so Rebloom, this is what I want to ask you. This is actually for everyone who's here or who is watching the recording. What is it that you want do you want this business to sustain you full time? Okay, because remember, we talked about solving a problem. If this is a could-be solution, and I'm just saying out loud, then this may not be able to sustain you if that's what you wanted to do. Because I want you to think about certain market things that may affect your business. Travel is getting ready to go down. Okay. So if travel is getting ready to go down, how is that going to affect your industry? These things are important. You want to think about how your industry will be affected and the problems they can create it. I am in digital marketing. My industry is affected, particularly with AI being introduced. For those of you who are writers, your industry is being affected, whether it be for economic reasons or whether it be technology, right? And so we as astute business owners, we have to consider these things and be able to pivot or figure out how we're going to solve that problem and it won't affect our bottom line. If you're doing this for full time, now, Rebloom, if you're doing it for just side money, then just disregard what I just said. Okay, so for Black women who want to rest, explore, and connect with other Black women, beautiful coaches. Okay, I get it. Now, there's a variety of things you're going to have to think about with your audience, right? So you're going to have to think about, who are the women who can, one, how long are these retreats? You want to think about if these are executive women who have the discretionary income to leave for several amount of days with it being okay. Then you have to think about women who are extroverts, right? Then you have to think about women who want to travel, so that when you're writing your marketing and when you're creating those images, you are creating what your typical clientele looks like. So write down who are these executive women. Like, tell me more about your target market specifically. What do they do? Where do they eat? What do they enjoy doing? Because you got to make sure that you're targeting a market that could afford it. So let's say you are talking about executive women. How many executive women can just roll out for 7 days, right? So if they can, then you need to put in your marketing, understanding that they're busy. So that you saying what? We take care of everything. You can make sure you have a flawless experience. We make it very efficient. Whatever it is you do. And why you specifically, right? Because we're talking about your specific journey. Talking about your story. So talk about that. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you feel not sure about the problem I'm solving. Okay, now, all right, then let's talk about it. Not sure about the problem I'm solving with content creation, other than brands don't have time to create content for their existing content. Okay. No. All right, so real talk. Can we full disclosure? Listen, AI is taking care of a lot of that. All right. So if the problem you're solving is not enough of a problem that it would be sustainable, then we need to figure out the bigger problem. Okay. So who is your audience? Okay. You can't just say it's business owners. Okay. You might want to focus on an industry that don't know anything about AI or they're scared of it, because then you won't be replaced by it. Right. And there's a lot of that still. But who are you helping specifically? And we can talk about that market a little bit. And let me just go back really quickly so you guys remember, while we're here, we're doing identify your market, understand your unique position, articulate the problem you solve, list the benefits and features. Don't leave here. If you're here with me live, tell me what your benefits and features are. Well, your benefits, people buy that. Tell me what those are. Put that in chat so we can work this out, okay? Understand your competitors, incorporate your story, okay? That's what we're talking about. So put it in chat. We here for it. Hey, Venus, benefits, decode your reproductive. Okay, so decode your reproductive hormone for an empowered pregnancy, labor, birth, recovery, prevent high pregnancy. Okay, have empowered, safe birth. Don't come out of Okay, that's a lot. First off. Second off, you need enough people to understand why that matters. You have a situation where people may have to get educated as to why they would need someone like you. So you need to create content to educate people as to why they would need someone like you. Because there's been people having births for zillions of years without whatever your service is, right? So you have to do like a double education. You have to let people know exactly why this is beneficial and why they would pay for it. Because people, besides paying several thousands of dollars to have a baby, I'm assuming you cost a fee as well. Why are you worth it? Why does it matter? You need to write that down. Do you have competitors? Who is the ideal client? Because no one's in Google typing empowered birth, right? So you need to think about the words and the key phrases that someone, when they're looking for it, that they can find it. Now, in your case, people may not all the way know that they need it. Because like I said, people have been having births without you. So you got to be super, super clear so that you're going to have to educate them first as to what are the risks, what can happen, what is happening, what are the statistics. Talk to them, right? But just something cold, just to see it online, you got to make sure that it's going to convert. Okay, Greta, love it. All right, let's look at it. Greta, target market, individuals 50 plus who accepted, believe, and surrender to the belief system and conditioning that no longer serve. What? Greta, what the hell is this service? Love you, okay? I have no idea what all that is. How is your customer going to know what this means? What it believe? What? I need to get y'all on the phone because Greta, I need more information. I need to know who accept, believe, and surrender to belief systems and conditioning. Greta, who is that for? How can I raise my hand and say I've accepted beliefs and surrendered to belief systems and conditions that I no longer serve? How do I know that, baby? Love, heart. What do I know? Like, what can you say to me? And two, we said keep it simple. Greta, you know that wasn't simple. Love you, but you know that wasn't simple. Can you give me, who is this person? Who, you know what I mean? Like, follow me. Anybody help me out here. Okay, hit the like button, y'all, if you are enjoying this. And again, we want to get your business together. Okay, folks. All right. So next week, same bat channel, same bat time. Next week, we're talking about the business models if you are the person who wants to travel or live abroad, because people are getting laid off. All right. And they want to live a life. And that life you live, you got to build a whole bunch of stuff, including the online business, before you go rolling out. Okay. Please do not leave your country and go to a country with a higher currency and you don't have that independent for you. Okay. Okay. Target market is folks of birthing age, managed care orgs. Okay, so you're still going to have to educate people as to why this audience needs you. You get that, right? Because people are not going to understand why they need to pay someone else to go have a kid other than their doctor or doula or whatever. Okay, so you're going to have to like create, what you need is an educational series of content that shows people why they need this. Again, what are the statistics? Why is it? I understand the minorities and medical system. I think as a minority, we all get that, right? So, but do some digging. What is the research? So you can hit. So when you're doing your pitch and your marketing, you can easily hit them with like, this is the statistics of women who blah, 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 right? And then if we're talking about women who aren't just birthing age, but they got to be interested in having a baby, right? Because how long you gonna wait to convert a customer? If the woman isn't thinking about birth or they're not pregnant, is that going to help you at all? Because they're going to need 9 months till they see you, right? So your customer, not acquisition, but your customer life, can't think of the appropriate marketing term right now. They need to see you when they're already pregnant, right? Because you're going to be waiting for a while to be able to convert. Okay. Greta, we're going to have to get on the phone. What on earth is an imagination coach? What is that? How do I know when I need one? I got an imagination. How do I know if I need more a coach to give? What, Greta? Talk to me, girl. Like what? Who is searching for that? And I'm not trying to beat y'all up. Please don't assume that, right? I'm trying to pull it out of you, because if I don't understand, your customer doesn't understand. And if your customer doesn't understand, that's not going to convert into sales. You got to make something so basic and so clear and so that person can easily raise their hand. Who is saying they need more magic? And what does that entail? What does that mean, baby love? So talk to me. Okay, my UV, discover your womb magic. Guys, y'all got to stop speaking in these terms that don't nobody know but you. What is womb magic? What does that even mean? Do I want my womb magical? Listen, Y'all, come on. Tell me, what does that mean? What is the problem you are solving? Because you put Womb Magic, one, that is not search engine optimized, because don't nobody know what that means. Okay, don't make this harder than it has to be, guys. Talk about what the issues are. Do some search engine researching so that when you're doing your unique value proposition, you're using words that regular people are using. This is not the place to get creative with your terms. When you're doing your unique value proposition, do not get creative. Make it very clear what it is you do. Think about Apple. Apple's not talking about technology magic, because don't nobody know what that is. Okay, so be very, very clear. Thanks for the love, James. Value nuggets, much appreciated. Okay, all right. I hope it's helpful. I'm not beating y'all up. Listen, I'm beating you up with love, right? Like, we got to get this out, because you can't be out here in these streets and people don't know what your product or service is, okay? All right, so how to do that in healthcare space where the gates and thick and wide and ironclad. I have a good, calm relation with one. I don't know what the question is. All right, y'all, we're going to have to do the phone line, because by the time y'all chat, I don't even remember what the question was. Thank you, James. Okay, that's my customer. What? So that's your customer, someone who does your customer that creates a podcast. Okay, creating content. But we talked about it a little bit, right? So you want to focus on maybe those content creators that may not be that tech savvy and may want to repurpose their content. But you also have to state why it's important for them to repurpose their content, because the person may not feel that it's necessary, right? They may not feel that they have to get it. You want to be in a situation where it makes sense for them to pay for you. So how can repurposing their content make enough sense that the problem is big enough that they will pay you what you want to be paid? Answer that question for me, Nana, so that we can get through this. Okay, to tell me that looks like the product is okay. No. To me, that looks like the product, not the. Okay, so Reed Bloom is like, okay, good. Yes, baby, get some feedback. Don't just have me in here feedback and talk to the people. Okay, so it looks like the product is and not the customer. Yes. Okay. All right. So no, the customer is the podcast creator. Okay. All right, we're back here, the customer is the podcast creator. They are creating the long form content. My product is the smaller pieces of content created, the long form content. Hope that makes sense. It does make sense, love. It does make sense. Now, there is some software that does that automatically based on the AI, right? Now, because of that, you need to make sure that you are working with people who don't even have the time to research that. Okay, so because and again, you need to know who your market is. Like, if someone sent me a pitch saying, hey, Cinnamon, I see you do YouTube videos. Do you need me to create your short form content? I already know that I can send it to AI if I want to. Okay, so I wouldn't be your target market, but you want to find out who is your target market, your target audience, which is why we're saying that part is super important. I hope is this like gelling on how you need to think about your target audience? Because if you don't, you're going to spend a lot of area here and it may not convert. Again, for our folks that are doing this to sustain themselves full time, like if you want to leave your job, you really have to be in a situation where you're solving a big enough problem that you can have enough customers that keep coming through the door so that you can make sure that you always have business, right? So yes, Nana, I get it. I think it's good. But because of that, we're going to have to really narrow down your target audience to make sure that they're not out there doing it. Okay. Ooh, I like this. Okay, P-Lean. Yes. Okay, target market. Those with mild traumatic brain injuries and or long COVID. Service, cognitive, and skill training. Okay, this is interesting to me. Mr. or Mrs. P, because I have some friends who are suffering from long COVID. So that's the target market with traumatic brain injury and long COVID. Okay. Now, if I'm not mistaken, long COVID can look like a bunch of different things, right? Like some of it can be anxiety, some can be brain fog, some can be, so talk to me about that. How are we doing on, dang, this went by so fast. Okay, customers with pop culture podcasts. Okay, customers with pop culture podcast creators who already have an audience who need more content creation from their existing podcasts. Okay, so we got your audience. We got your audience, right? Tell me, love, What is your unique position? Okay. What is it you're going to do that's different than your competitors? And I want you to list your benefits and features, right? So this is one of the things you can consider, because if podcasters are specifically on podcasts, they probably want to do two things, right? They probably want to increase their audience, and they probably want to make a little bit of income if they're not already selling space on the podcast, right? So being able to put their content on other platforms, i.e. your YouTubes, and who else pays? I don't know, TikTok pays. I ain't part of that. Whatever. You want them to get, you can discuss how you can help them specifically create more income streams, migrating from their podcast to different, I'm sorry, y'all know this live and something going on outside my door. How you can help them increase their income that way. Because again, guys, remember when businesses are doing their thing, their discretionary income is going to change as well. So when they are putting money out, they want to make sure that they're getting at least 3 times that money back. So if someone's going to pay for your product or service, they want to make sure they're getting it back. If you're doing, if your target market is business to business, if it's B2C, there are some things you can change with that. But yeah, so, okay, recreate. Okay, let's see what we got here. Retreats are side money. Okay, good. Okay. Now that there's side money, we got a lot of good, okay, we could work the podcast manager, will grow to support me. Okay. The retreats are a side business, so this you don't have to stress as much, right? But as it relates to your client, paint the picture of what that looks like. Is she an executive? How old is she? What are some of the problems she faces? Does she have kids? Does she have a husband, right? Because in your marketing, you can say those things. You can say if you're exhausted, with the responsibility of being a good mother, wife, husband, whatever, like your marketing message can speak to them exclusively so that person can raise their hand and say, oh, this sounds like something I will want. So let's be very specific as to what does that person even look like? Because when you're going to write down your marketing message, that's what you're going to pull out your stuff, right? Okay. Let's see. Target Black women over 40 who want to generate disposable income by monetizing social media. YouTube Meta may think they are too old to start but want to. Okay. So what's the product or so this is a target market. Okay. Do me a favor, Black travel and culture. Can you answer some of the other questions in the end of, let me get an understanding of your unique position. Articulate the problem that you solve, specifically the problem that you solve, because on the target market, I really want to know that so that you can walk away and have this completed before this is done. So talk to me about the problem that you solve and the list of benefits and features. Think about that, guys. If you could start putting your problem that you solve and the benefits and features, then let's rock with that for a quick minute so that we can get some information there, right? The market is probably no, right? No. My market is probably the first for AI takeover. I currently work with pop. Yeah. No, I get it. My industry is affected too, right? But it has helped me. The good thing, Nana, think about how you can use AI to be more efficient in what you do. Because that's ultimately what I had to do, right? Now, granted, I had to change some of my service offerings, and this is okay. Listen, technology is going to come out sometimes, and it's going to shatter your business in some cases, okay? But that doesn't mean that you're out of business. You need to be up on what's happening and figuring out how you're going to do it. Now, the benefit, Nana, if you know that there are competitors or there are people that are doing this, are they even considering AI? You know what I mean? Because if they're not, then this could be a selling point for you of how you incorporate that. How can you use this and communicate with your client so that this is more effective? But I get what you're saying, because trust me, my industry has been affected. Everybody's industry is going to be affected. Let's not get it twisted. Whether you're a lawyer, accountant, writer, your industry is going to be affected by AI, right? But don't get scared. I mean, I get it because I got scared. But you're just going to really figure out how you can represent yourself to make you more efficient or superhuman in the area in which your expertise, okay? All right. Is location a benefit for? Okay, the takeover. Okay, what we got here? Is location a benefit for a healing center? I think so. Like, people want to heal somewhere pretty, right? I would rather heal somewhere pretty than not pretty. So yeah, I think so. Okay, currently AI isn't there yet. Quality content. AI, Nana, I want you to look at a thing called Oculus. Okay, just Google it. Just Google it, and but here's the thing. Other people may think that as well, right? So you can use Oculus or some other ones, and you can push out product for them faster. And if you want to get real fancy, which is why I'm learning Python, you could take the API and automate that and just create a dashboard for them so they can do it themselves, and they pay you a monthly fee. No, okay. Listen, a lot of y'all can turn into software owners real quick with this AI if you make it so that it's helping your specific industry. Here's the thing. If you do all the work, like getting the perfect client, finding out what their problem is, communicating with them, you can create a software solution specifically for them. Okay, so they may not be using AI the way that you could because of your expertise. No one can take your human years of expertise. Okay, so think about that. You might just need to get an API from OpenAI and create a dashboard and tell the people, here's a monthly fee, click these 2 buttons, and it'll do it automatically. Okay, market, Greta. Let's see what we got here, love. I'm not going to imagine mindset coach. Ideal client is facing the, wait, I don't think I have all your stuff. You know how YouTube does. I don't have all of your, I'm not playing. No, Rebloom, we are on it today, okay? We don't have enough room to type. Okay, Greta, that's a problem. Okay. All right, let me research. I did the call-in thing before, right? The problem is when no one's on the line, it plays this music, and I don't know how to make that stop. So when I'm sitting here trying to teach, and if nobody's on the line, it's playing music, and I don't know what to do with that, right? So let me do some research. I can't promise it's going to be ready for you guys by next week, but I'm going to try real hard. Also, tomorrow I'm live again. We're talking about Portugal for those of you who are interested. It's not an elevator pitch. They are benefits. Here, your elevator pitch and your benefits got to be the same thing. In your elevator pitch, aren't you saying what your benefits are? You have to. So I don't understand, based on the magic of wombs and all the other stuff, what that means. I've already served DC. Okay, so make this more clear. Come back. My clients are managed care orgs, and I've already served here in DC. I've never had a problem with clients seeing the value of. So what is your question, Viviana? What is your question? If you don't have a problem with people seeing the value, is your issue that they're not converting, so you're not getting more clients? If you're not getting more clients, it's because they're not converting. If they're not converting, they don't see your value. So what is the issue? Is it converting? Talk to me. Like, be more specific and leave the magic apart and tell me specifically what that means. Love you. Love you. Mindset. Thank you, honey. Okay, Rebloom, we don't have room to type anything. I know, Greta. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. You are a transformational coach. Okay, yes, network. I'm not sure you are helpful. Out, girl. I don't. Okay. All right. Can you handle certain famous people experience to show what happens to? Okay, let's talk about it. You can include certain other famous people's experience to show it helps across financial status and health. Dang, I forgot what we were talking about. All right, we will do a Viviana, if you think I'm negative, then this is what I'm getting you to try to understand is that this is what your clients need to get from you. You are using words that no one who's looking at will say, I need a magic womb. Okay. So if that bothers you, or if you feel that I'm negative, then you're right. You probably shouldn't be here. For anyone who feels that I'm negative, please don't feel like you have to be here because I'm trying to help. So by all means, if this does not work for you, have a good evening. Okay. I like the phrase imagination coach. I get it. But imagination coach is not clear to your customer, right? So how would someone know that they need an imagination coach? And are they going to pay for an imagination coach? Okay, I'm here for the tough love. Good. Okay, we don't have room to type. I know, Greta, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to fix it. Okay, all right, listen. True. You're being realistic and professional. I appreciate you. So here's the thing. If you all want to do business full time where it can pay for your life and your lifestyle, you are going to have to develop some tough skin. Your customers may have issues with you. Your clients may want something different, and you got to be able to deliver. This is going to be the difference between you doing this full time and being able to sustain yourself or not. What we want to do is we want to make sure that you have the skills necessary to be able to work with your clients and identify your target market, understand your unique position, articulate the problem. If you get this all written down, come and look at this later. If you get this all written down, when you do your marketing message, it's going to be so much easier, because if your client cannot raise their hand and say that they need you, it's going to be hard, y'all. It's going to be hard. Okay, Greta. Okay. All right, Cinnamon. This is great realistic feedback for business owners. Listen, thank you. But here's what I know. Business owners are sensitive. I'm sensitive about my thing as well. But you can't be sensitive when you want people to give you money. You want people to give you money, their hard-earned money, because you just exist? No, you have to tell your customers why they need to work with you, why you're solving their problem, how you are better equipped to solve their problem. They do not know that, okay? So it's great in theory. For some of you who are stuck, this is what you need to hear, okay? If you're stuck and you're not making this full time and you want to, it's because things are still unclear. If they are unclear to me, they are unclear to your customer. The only benefit is, here in the community can tell you. So you don't go spending a whole bunch of money and making social media channels and doing all this stuff that's not converting customers, okay? All right, I get it, vision, yes. Expensive for the person who's building a business. This is reality. Absolutely. This is not negative, okay? But if you don't think about all this stuff, if you want to get mad at me because I don't understand what your product or service is, what are you going to do with your customers? If they don't get it either, what you going to do? Okay? So if you've taken all this time and energy and effort, you want to make sure you have a clear, unique value proposition. You want to show how you show value. Okay. All right. Okay, Greta, Black, okay, who want to create a life of joy. So Greta, this is what I want you to do for homework. I want you to list down what are the things that you can provide that will bring them joy, okay? And what are the things that they may be experiencing in their current life that is removing their joy, okay? Because then you are able to create a marketing message where someone can identify they fall in all these categories. This is the stuff that's taking my joy, right? This is the stuff that's taking my joy. Now, this person can give me joy by doing those things, okay? So do you see how that person can raise their hand and say, all right, I need to work with this person? Because ultimately what I want for you is you speaking in the language of your potential customer, because that is the way that they're going to know that they need to work with you, okay? All right. Repurpose content to grow the channel. Listeners, more short. Okay. I know that you guys don't have enough space for it, but again, not sure about AI issue. Don't worry about the AI issue yet. All right, Nana, because you could literally use AI to make you more efficient. This is what anybody whose industry, like myself, anybody's industry who's getting affected by AI, think about first, how can AI make you more efficient and quick, okay? So for those people who are not repurposing their content, it's possible they don't know about AI either, okay? And so with AI, and if you follow it, a lot of the people who've been in it saying, listen, you're gonna have to pivot a lot. But if you develop a really good relationship with your clients and you're on the learning edge, you can say, hey, this is what's going to happen. And most of the time, people are so busy running their business that they do not have time to research the latest technology. They just don't, right? But if you are looked at as that consultant who can help them do what they need to do, they're not even going to really think about it, at least hopefully not for the next 2 years, right? My industry was highly affected, so my people kind of know. But Again, you pivot. All right, pop culture. Again, AI isn't advanced enough. Perfect. Okay, great. Okay, podcast manager, audio editing, time consuming. Yes. Audio editing, time consuming. Even the AI tools, I can give you a high quality audio, show notes. Perfect. Yes. And I think that is the problem that you're solving, right? Is that what we're on right now? All right, we got to head out in a minute. Improving executive functioning, productivity. Ooh, Mr. and Mrs. P, I love this. Improving executive functions, productivity, focus, independence, time management, attention, etc. This is, do me a favor because we have a whole bunch of stuff in the comments, so I'm not sure which part everyone's answering, right? So are we saying, are we doing this on articulating the problem, or this the list and benefits? Mr. and Mrs. P, can you answer that for me, please? Because then that would help me understand. Don't get frustrated. Take what's in. Listen, girl, I ain't worried about. Okay. Find it hard to determine the USP for a podcast manager. Okay. Let's talk about this. Find it hard to determine your USP for a podcast manager. You got some dots. So did I miss all the question? What time is it? Okay. Find it hard to determine for a podcast manager. Okay. So, what problem are you solving that they can't do themselves? And let's think about it like, is the podcast manager worried about more sponsorship? Do they want the podcast to make more money? Are they worried about guests? Are they worried about like what? So when you think about your product or service, I want you to say like, so what, right? So that keep saying that so that you can get the ultimate answer as to how you can benefit them. Like, okay, maybe they want to repurpose their content. So what? So they can get more eyes on it. So what? So they can increase their sponsorship. So what they really want is increased sponsorship. So is there anything you can do to help them get increased sponsorship? Like, could it be that the clients they currently have, they could get more money out of the clients that are already spending money with them? So with podcasts, a lot of times when people are sponsoring the podcast, many times, many of the hosts, depending on how experienced they are, they may not be giving the rate of return on the podcast money that they're spending on sponsoring the podcast. So that could be a selling point to your podcast managers, because ultimately, if you're doing a podcast, you want more eyes, but ultimately is to get more money, right? So like being able to give that report could be super helpful. Like for anything that I'm doing, if someone can give me an immediate report to let my clients know that it's being effective and I don't have to do it, I'm gonna pay you for that, because then I can easily take that, multiply by 3 and make my customer pay for it because they see the value. You feel what I'm saying? Or you're adding extra value to what I'm already providing. So when you think about, what was your question? It's hard to determine. Think about what, again, we're going back to the problems you solve. What are their painstaking issues, right? And if it's to make more money, what is it that you're doing that will help them make more money? Can you make them more money? Brainstorm that. You don't have to have that answer now. But in everything we're talking about, and particularly as we're going into this crazy economy, okay, think about how, if you're talking about business to business, right? Because if you're doing business to business, you don't need that many clients to live comfortably, right? So most businesses, they always want to make them more money. So when you're thinking about your service, think about, okay, so what can I do? Am I making them more money? This is for my folks who are doing business to business. For those of you who are working with individuals, you have a lot of selling factor. Like, was it Rebloom? Who was doing the retreats? People just, look, you need to work on your mental health. So you might need a retreat. You know what I mean? So you're selling that. Okay. Unique position benefits, increased audience and income by repurposing content. Okay. No, I like that. Increased audience and income by repurposing content and putting content on social platforms. Yes. Now, absolutely. You want to talk about repurposing, and also you want to talk about that ad revenue, right? You might want to put that up front. And certain social platforms are going to be better for that than others, right? So Instagram's increase in Instagram's payment for creators is not very good, right? but let's say YouTube is. So YouTube Shorts might be better than all of the short form content. So if you were just starting out, you could start to get that research. You could start to get like all of that stuff is public as to various companies have searched and tell you what is more effective based on the industry. And then you can give that to your client saying, listen, you are in this. What's best is that you can focus your efforts on these two platforms because it will increase your reach, it will increase your advertising dollars, and be able to get you a large sponsorship. Okay, I would like to get more. Right, Mr. and Mrs. P. I'm really interested in hearing more about that. Okay, currently making my clients about 3 times what they pay me. Perfect. Ooh, Nana. Good place to be. You always want to make sure that whatever you are charging your clients by bare minimum, that they get 3 times back. So I love to hear that. But the increased quality of yes. So use AI to make it faster. Also, guys, you can use AI to do your lead generation. Okay. So you can really automate this process so that you continue to have more leads coming in. Ideally, when you are communicating with people on the online and they may not have the opportunity to meet you, your online stuff is all they have, whether they're reading your website or they're engaging with some of your content. So when you create your lead generation, you want to take them somewhere that will nurture them, because at some point you may want to pay for ads, right? You don't want to pay for ads until you got everything else fixed and running like a oiled machine, right? So with that, you want to make sure that lost my train of thought. You want to make sure that you remember what you were going to say. And I don't. I'm sorry. TikTok. Oh, TikTok pays well. Oh, you know what? I have heard that. Yes, Black Belt. Yes. You might want to offer the short forms with management of TikTok and YouTube. Yes. So people in here are very much more educated on TikTok's money. I know YouTube pays you pretty well. Okay, management, social media patient. Yes. I love it. Yes, keep networking, guys. Okay, so you're all set. Do we have any questions on here that you want me to look at real quick? Articulating the problem, lists and benefits, understanding your competitors, incorporating your personal story. If you can do that, that is important. Incorporate your personal story because no one can be you. Teaching how to use specific AIs can also be a product. I agree. I agree. Absolutely. Oculus. Okay, so no, it's not called Oculus. Hold on. Let me see. It's not that. You know what? It's on my laptop. I was looking at it earlier. Hold on. Can I Google it? It's not Oculus. It's Google's. Oh, goodness. Hold on. Can y'all wait like 2 seconds while I grab my laptop? Like, is that real ratchet? Let me get my laptop and I'll tell you what it is real quick. Okay, I know you're teaching. Just can't type. No worries, Greta. Okay. All right. Thank you. That was for the maternal health. Maternal health. Okay. Yeah, okay. Free to leave. I know it is free to leave the chat, right? Maybe StreamYard for better interaction. How would StreamYard be different? Talk to me or send me something. Okay, I think pushing you to think like a consumer looking for a service. Absolutely. This is what you have to do, folks. I'm pushing you to think about your consumer. Please do not create a company and not think about them, because that's why a lot of people aren't making money. Because if you approach marketing in a very self-centered way, it's not going to resonate with your client. You want your client to be able to say, oh, this person can help me. This person gets me, like they get me. And they can't get you when you were just thinking about you during the marketing process. This is going to save you a lot of time and a lot of money. Okay, thank you, James. Okay, thank you. Put your big girl girls on bridges, girl. Yes. Okay. You can think. Okay, can I go get my you can't think from the server product mining with a very good. Okay, thank you guys. I'm not trying to be negative, but some people are special. And we already have history, so I already know what that's about. If you don't get it, you don't get it. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm gonna run it. I don't think we have any questions. Sure, you can send an email, accept homework. Wow, to be fair, dismiss it because. Okay, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna go get my laptop. This is raggedy. Hold on. Okay. All right, that's raggedy. I'm sorry, because I wasn't ready. Okay. It is called Opus. Opus is OPUS. Okay, that is the name of the company. Let me put that in chat. OPUS. So just Google that, because I don't know what I was talking about earlier. Okay. Don't pay for ad. Okay, don't recommend. Okay. Experience and experience and instructional time. I want to create training for folks overwhelmed by technology, which usually vibrate. Okay, great. Peggy, can you tell me what technology specifically? I'm back. Can you tell me what type of technology you want to help them with specifically? Is it just regular computer stuff? Like talk to me on that, Peggy. Don't pay for ads. Absolutely. Do not pay for ads, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Absolutely. Nurturing email sequence. Yes. Okay. So, this is the question. Sorry. Don't pay for ads before you have everything set up. Yes. Everything equal email sequence and what else? Okay, so first of all, ads can be tricky. If you don't know what you're doing on ads, Google, YouTube, everybody will just take your money and run with it, which is why they hire companies like mine. So just don't do that in general, particularly if you don't have at least 50 clients, right? Because you still have the ability to communicate when you have 50 clients. You can still send them an email. You can do a welcome sequence, but more importantly, when you start your business a little bit, you may start to change your workflow and your processes and things like that. And you want to do that when you don't have a lot of customers first. Okay. Because what people end up doing, if you want all these people to come to your business, but you don't have your workflow when you get a customer, you don't have a bunch of systems, technology, customer service things put in place, just a variety of things like that, you can tear your business down. Because if you get this influx of people, some folks don't really know what their workflow is, right? So if you get a customer, for those of you who are coaches and consultants, what happens as soon as that person gives you their credit card? Other than an email sequence, what else? Are they getting a phone call from you? Are they getting that? And if you know what it is in your head, write it down so someone else would be able to read it and pick it up and know. And I've even, for the things that I'm responsible for versus my staff, the things I'm responsible for, I hadn't written that down. And then when I started incorporating some automation with AI, I was forced to write it down because I had to write some prompts. But that was actually a good task for me, because if something were to happen to me, or if I got sick, that means my business would have shut down while I'm sick because I never shared how to do any of this. So by all means, you definitely want to make sure that your workflow is in point. So from when a customer comes to you from the very end, that is automated, or the systems are put in place to make sure that you know what happens after that. Okay. Yeah, not Oculus. Okay. Did you guys get the thing though? Any other AI sites you recommend we look up? What I recommend you look, so of course the basic large language models, your Claudes, your ChatGPTs, your Bards, they all work differently. So I would recommend play around with all of them to see which one works better for the things that you want to do. But this is what I would recommend. Google your industry and then type in AI software, because many people have built software platforms on top of current large language models. So they've taken the API and they've built products that are specifically for industry, and you can do that. That's hence the reason why I'm learning Python, right? You can do it with some no code solutions. So please look into Zapier or Make, because you can use those solutions with the API of a lot of these large language models and create a AI bot specifically for your industry, right? So Google whatever industry you're in and then type in AI and see what's there. Okay, all right, so what we got here? Thanks, Tim. This is excellent. This is really helpful for me to laser focus. And yes, I love it. Okay, how do you find out? Okay, so, all right, Q, how do you find out whether what I want to offer is already being offered? Is that called market research? Yeah, so you can, just on the basic level of it, you can just Google what you do. This is why I keep hounding you all about your words, because if what you're using to explain your product is a word that people typically use when they're searching for it, it's going to be easier for you to find your competitors, right? If you're using words and things that are hard and creative that the person has to decipher, then it's going to be harder for you to find who your competitors are. So when you think about your business, just for a minute, people like close your eyes or open them or whatever and say, okay, if I was a customer and I was looking for a business like mine, what are some words I would use to go search for it on the internet? Okay. And those are the words you're going to use to find some of your competitors. Okay, but always look at it based on the customers, because when you say things like creative and imagination, like most people aren't searching. And you can find this out. You can use Google Keyword Planner. You can use ubersuggest.com. You can use a variety of tools that will tell you. You can use Google Trends of the actual keywords people are searching for. If you attempt to market online and you're using words that the average your audience is not using, it's going to be so much harder to find them, right? So just Google what it is that you would do if you were looking for your competitor and see who comes up on the first page of search. So when we were talking about, let me go back to this. When we were talking about your competitors, understand your competitors, what they do well. Let me see if I got that thing back up. Right here, identify what they're doing right and where there's room for improvement, right? So you can see some of your competitors and be like, okay, they're not doing it like this. So that could be my unique thing, right? Like you can do that and be unique. So when you look for your competitors, start to kind of write down what you see, where there's room for improvement, and what is your unique value prop, right? Okay. That's a word, rebloom. You absolutely can. You can ask Bard or ChatGPT for recommendations for AI tools for your industry. Absolutely. I haven't had as much great experience from Bard as I have ChatGPT. That's probably why I always keep talking about ChatGPT. But you can absolutely do that. You can ask it some really important questions. You can ask it like, if you are in this industry and you want to incorporate AI, but you're not sure, how can you incorporate it? You can ask for resources. In a minute, ChatGPT is going to be able to hear and speak, right? I think that's releasing to Plus members within the next 2 weeks. So this is the change that has been happening since March. Okay, stuff is moving. Okay, all right. Okay, also find, AI can find your competition, but I do want you to do it yourself as well, because AI is great, y'all, but it's not perfect. Okay, it's also a good tool for keyword. Okay, oh, that's good. Yes, drop the knowledge. Yes. Good word for keyword search and product creation based on what people are buying and searching. Love it. See, talk to the people up in here because they know some things and you all can help each other. All right. So we don't have any more questions. We went a little bit over. I am sorry. Okay. Again, if you're watching this in the recording, if you're sensitive, please don't come to the live because that's just not what this is not gonna work out. So we'll be back here next week, same bat time, same bat channel. And next week we're talking about business models. For those of you who want a location independent life, there are certain business models that's going to help you with that. But I'm in digital marketing. You don't have to be in digital marketing. You can be in freelance. You can be in software development. You can be in all those things, right? But there's certain business models that are going to help you more than others, right? And what we're talking about is not something that you can implement in a day. This is the plan that you make so that if you want to travel more or you want to leave the country, that you're already putting these steps in. So from a year from now or a year and a half from now, you'll have all the clients you need. Please don't leave the country until you have all your clients, because sometimes clients may want you to come in and talk to them. And if you over here in Bali and you can't have that meeting, you might miss the business, okay? So make sure you have all of your clients together before you roll out, okay? Great talking to you, picture. Okay, great. Created a taking picture using, yep, there's a lot going on. It's not listen, entrepreneurship is nowhere near for the weak. It's not even for everybody. Some people need to be employed by a company because, listen, knowing that your check is coming every 2 weeks or whatever, it's a good feeling, right? I'm sure. This is stress that sometimes you may not want in your life. Okay, so again, for my Portugal people, we'll be doing this tomorrow, answering your FAQs or whatever. So we'll do that next week. Tuesday for the month of October, we're doing business. So appreciate you all. If I didn't get to your question, you can leave me a question and I can try to answer it at the beginning of next week's training. But I probably, if you send me an email, won't be able to answer it until later. So Yes, Peggy. I want to create training for folks. Okay, that's an old question. We good? We good? Looking forward to. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's been real. Till next time, guys. Ciao.